This is Robert Forsch with the YouTube channel Truth. I'm focused in on the moon right now, and sunrise happening as well here in the coast of North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I'm storming Area 51 digitally. What I did is I sent out my liked video playlist covering a wide variety of topics, including, but not limited to, artificial intelligence, alien abduction, and the truth about that as best I can tell. Zoomed in on a beautiful sunrise. I'll merge this with my live Facebook broadcast later, which will also be a YouTube broadcast. I encourage people to seek the truth about everything, including aliens, Area 51, artificial intelligence. There's a lot of talk in the world these days about artificial intelligence, and you know, Elon Musk is one of the pioneers in that, with creating an injectable link, neural link, a neural lace to basically connect the computer-brain interface to have self-driving vehicles. So he's wouldn't be considered a crackpot, that's for sure. I mean, as far as his billionaire status and pioneering the technology and saying we're summoning the demon, and one thing's for sure, we will not control it. Yeah, how about that? How about that, Elon? So Sam Harris talks about it. I liked his video. Yeah, when we're not sure about a technology and we want it to work out well, we'll inject it into our brains to help it make it better, right? It's not sounding so good. That doesn't quite make sense to me, to do that. However, that is part of the discussion. Now, clearly, here in the P1000 recording that I'm doing, I've got sun in the midst of the clouds, as Job 37 talks about, proclaims. Joshua 10, God stopped the sun and the moon from moving. One of the reasons why I decided to send my liked video playlist to the event promoters in Area 51, especially the base camp, that's where I was going to go, specifically the base camp where the Alien Research Center is. And I presented that gentleman with my playlist, which covers a lot of really important documentaries that back up what I'm talking about. I do believe that alien abductions are real. What are they, though? That's one of the questions. What is actually going on? One of the truths that I believe I've discovered about all this is that there's a lot of deception around it. Whatever the aliens are, whoever they actually are, they're deceptive in nature, and they don't want to hear the name Jesus Christ, from what I hear. Maybe Yeshua works. I don't know. I would think so. The Nazarene, that's what the demons would call Jesus. They would call him the Nazarene. They didn't want to say his name, but they were still referring to him. Ultimately, I believe that the embodiment of the Creator, as in what many of you would know as Jesus Christ, may also recognize him as Yeshua, Yahweh, the great I Am, the Alpha and Omega, the living Word, the living water. All those references, I believe, are true, are accurate. There's the truth, and then there's everything else. Now, what I'm showing here, and this broadcast will go live long enough to show that this water gently coming on over and filling up these tidal pools some more. That shouldn't take too long. We live on a stationary level Earth. Why would I mention that with Area 51 and alien and artificial intelligence? Well, for a very important reason. With the event base camp promoting going on and all of that, I don't think he would be ready for a face-to-face discussion with me during the event to consider quite possibly that we're looking at demonic entities and not necessarily visitors from another galaxy. So I rather stay at here, local, 2,500 miles away approximately, and be able to have an outreach truly worldwide. It is even from here. Just talking about what I am and having the content that I've created, there will be people from all over the world that see this broadcast and recording. That's largely how that works. The truth community encompasses a lot of individuals. Many of us want to know the truth more than anything else. Other people are just curious to know what's going on here. Why would people hold to such an unpopular perspective? Well, what happened with me is I found what I believe the truth to be, and it's a big deal. It's very important. Roughly 7 people per second no longer have the human experience. They die. Or do they? Well, their body stops working, and where does their consciousness go to? Does it go to heaven? Does it go to hell? Does it go to uploading to the cloud? A massive interconnectivity of artificial intelligence, the internet, and so forth. Even if that happens, where the billionaires worshiping Satan want to avoid conventional death, because what is reality actually but a recognition of impulses and observations with our eyes, what our senses can detect? Well, I believe we have a soul, and that's what I believe God's Word says. That we have, that we're all eternal beings having a temporary human experience. Some people actually have an alien experience, an alien abduction. That does in fact occur. What is going on there? Dr. Michael Heiser, very highly recognized and respected individual, talks about that. And I will too with critical analysis. What I would simply say is there's deception going on, and what is that deception, and what is the truth about it? Where is the reality in that? And how will you know when it's right in front of you? So what I am able to do, and you are too, is to look on the internet and to do a search to try and find out the truth about Area 51, aliens, eternity, God, reality, artificial intelligence, and so much more. So I cover a wide variety of topics on my channel, and I've got video, hundreds of hours of video without any commentary, just showing the beauty of creation and wave sounds as well. I've got to organize my channel maybe to make it a little bit easier for people to find things. Part of what I do is I'll make a broadcast and add some videos around that topic that I'm talking about that are relatively highly viewed, maybe millions of views, thousands of likes, that cover the topics that I'm talking about. Okay, so one of the things that I'm going to do right now is zoom in on the moon up here. Okay, there's the moon. I'm going to drop it down and just show you in relationship to the sun. Okay, so I'm going to pan on around and go straight up. Now, I do videos at night too, or early in the morning when it's really dark. So you can see that that the moon is actually giving off its own light. The sun and the moon are local, relatively close. So when it's really dark all around the moon, and that's obvious because when I just take a flashlight and shoot it up in the sky, there's like a laser beam shooting up. Well, if the sun were impacting the moon when it's dark here, it would light up everything else just like it does today, just like it is right now. I've got thousands of hours invested in this, wanting to show people the reality of the world that we live in. The sun coming across the water is much like a laser beam. The reflections of the individuals walking our way indicate that the water, once again, is flat and level. There would be no level anywhere on a spinning water sphere hurling through space. That's obvious. Once I saw it, I couldn't unsee it. That's even once I realized that that was the truth of it, I couldn't stop seeing that. So water seeks level, covers the face of the earth, and doesn't conform to a sphere hurling through space with a bunch of people upside down in relationship to other people and stuff. That's all ridiculous. Hence, that's one of the reasons why I thought I would send my liked video playlist to the event promoters for the storming Area 51, and basically I wanted to go there to raise awareness to seeking the truth and using technology to do that, the internet. So I'm just going to move us a little bit to the left and watch the reflection show up there in the water, that light beam. Notice the shadows also. You might want to back that up later if you want to. It's pretty fascinating. And so when the event promoters have a lot invested, and I'm sure genuinely believe that they're exposing the reality of it, of the situation with alien abduction and all of that. Well, and what I would simply say is I do believe events actually are occurring. When I was quite a bit younger, in the early 70s, I remember hearing about alien abduction. It was on the mainstream news, and cattle mutilation. I don't watch much mainstream news anymore, but what I was going to say with that is they talked about surgical procedures that we didn't have the technology to perform. It raised my curiosity. I thought, what's going on there? Of course, the government's not going to lie to us about anything. Neither are the people telling the story on the news, or are they? I remember Walter Cronkite. I'm sure many of you do, that are old enough. He would say, and that's the way it is. Well, is it actually? Is that the way it is, or the way they want us to see it? And that is where the artificial intelligence comes in, especially because I believe artificial intelligence, is tremendously deceptive. So to show what I want to show, I'm going to take us over this way a bit. Let me tighten this up. So in the pursuit of truth and wanting to know what the reality is, one of the dynamics is the water seeks level. That playlist that I have, Water Seeks Level, I've got some of it so gently moving, it's absolutely amazing. The higher is drier. Here it comes. And of course the tide is coming in. That's why it's doing this right now. And it'll fill in all the low spots. We had a flood that Noah prepared for. 3 water sources. Started raining, the floodgates of heaven and the fountains of the deep. 3 water sources. You can't flood a ball. You can sure fill a container though, and that's what happened. We've got a firmament that's above the face of the stationary and level earth. The firmament is the edge as far as I'm concerned. What's beyond that? Well, I don't know. I can't go there. I can't even go to where the firmament actually is at this point in my human experience. Okay? So the firmament is like a hard structure. It is a hard structure, and People get all upset about talking about the shape of the earth. Some do. And many that I've talked to about artificial intelligence say, you mean alien? There's kind of a relationship neurolinguistically with that, alien and artificial intelligence. And many that are discussing AI or artificial intelligence talk about it like an alien god, like and then there's a church out in California that's involving artificial intelligence, worshiping it. It is largely, as we are a cybernetic collective, utilizing technology to access information starting at a very young age. It not only, well, can we access it, it can access us, apparently, more than many realized. So it's creating a perspective, a uniform view of things, of sorts. How does that work out? Well, apparently it works out really effectively at controlling the population of the world, giving the desired perspective for so many. To deceive, largely. Seeing is believing. What do we see and what do we believe about it? You know, I'm standing on the beach right now. We've got a live broadcast and a recording going right now in the Myrtle Beach area. That's pretty obvious. Not in front of a green screen or a chroma key. There's all kinds of technology that is very hard to differentiate from reality, and it's only becoming more and more sophisticated. So part of what has happened with me is God, who lives in and through me, my Heavenly Father, gave me a desire for the truth and to engage people in an area where many are gathering to reflect off of the water, reflect on their lives, past, present, future. We have weddings and funerals out here, memorials, not actually a funeral, but a memorializing of someone that has transitioned. And then reflecting on new lives together. We have engagements and marriages and families celebrating their newborn child. I've seen children learning to walk on the beach out here, taking some of their first steps. We're expecting about 20 million people to come here again this year. What I'm able to do with the Zoom of the P1000 is to give a perspective that you wouldn't be able to see with the Facebook recording, the unmagnified or non-magnified view. And you might find it interesting to look at that or other videos like that on my channel.